Okay, this was your idea, the £2,000 road bike. And we were inspired chatting around the workshop this morning. Jake was fixing his bike, he smashed his rear derailleur hanger sadly, and this sort of aluminium custom build that he put together, sort of the conversation started flowing. We're like, okay, let's get it on the camera, let's record this. And yeah, we thought, if we're gonna do a £2,000 road bike, we can't just go, yeah, of course you can buy a £2,000, like go and buy a Scott Speedster something, and you go, easy. We want to go, well, £2,000 road bike, but one, what would inspire us at £2,000? What would we want from it? And also, what are our customers asking for? Where's the industry kind of going? And could we still get the £2,000 bike together with that in mind? So this is the parameters that we gave ourselves, was versatile geometry, something that was, you know, you could put some mud guards on and commute to work if you wanted to. You could probably meet up at a club ride on a Saturday morning and go for a ride, take on the occasional cyclo-sportive, that sort of thing, and possibly even fit a slightly sort of more off-roady set of wheels and enjoy a ride around the forest with the family. You know, it was that sort of idea that we kind of get asked for, you know, from this sort of a bike. And then some deep carbon wheels. It's the thing that everybody upgrades first of all, is to get themselves some decent wheels. Once you've ridden a set of really nice carbon wheels, they hold their momentum, they increase your comfort, they're just better. It's the one upgrade that everyone does. And so let's just start as we mean to go on, because I think this is where you compromise when you buy a full build out of a box, is that you kind of get all the headline features of like the exotic group sets, but then they just cheap out on the wheels. So let's just go, come on, we know that wheels make the most difference, let's just do it. And then hydraulic disc brakes, love them or hate them, just this is what we get asked for. This is where the industry is going, this is where the sales figures are, and it's not in cable pull discs, it's in the hydraulic discs, because I think the word is getting out there now that the cable pull discs are useless and you might as well have rim brakes. And there's still an awful lot of cheap road bikes where they're trying to mask, you know, oh, it's got disc brakes, but like cable operated rubbish. And I think if we're going to do this bike, if we're going to do the 2000, can we get hydraulic disc brakes in there? And then finally, 2x11, we thought, not going to mess around with 1x or anything like that. It's just go standard road bike, 2x11 gears. So with that in mind, we just about did it. A frame that we were happy with. Okay, there's options on AliExpress, the second-hand options, but brand spanking new, the Tifosi Rostra frame, actually a pretty good frame. Comes with a carbon fork with the aluminium steerer, so there's a bit of extra weight there in the steerer tube, which is a bit disappointing, but for that sort of money, they're normally nicely finished. They come with all the headsets, they come with all like the seat clamps and everything you need in the box. So yeah, I couldn't think of anything particularly better, and even buying from AliExpress wasn't significantly cheaper to really tempt me by the time we found something of a similar idea. The wheels then, so right now on Sigma Sports, they're selling the Vel 50s, 50mm deep RLs for 449 quid. The RRP on them was ridiculously cheap anyway, at 749, but they come with, you know, a 2-year warranty and everything else. And they're a little bit on the narrow side for what I would like, but at that sort of price, I probably compromise. It does take away some of your tire pressure and tire options, but that's a big old saving. The reason I sort of let this go, if you like, was because they've got a standard spoke configuration. There's nothing too weird about them. If the hubs really fail, we could take them out, put some Shimano or DT Swiss hubs in there in the future. There's nothing too weird. There's no reason why they should be a problem. And then the group set, normally the Tiago group set would be like, yeah, absolutely, Tiago group set, but there's no stock at the moment, which is normally indicative of a imminent release of a new group set. So have a search around, there's not an awful lot out there. So I think there's a new Tiago in the pipeline, but finding a 105 disc group set is fairly easy. It's about 700 quid. Just watch out, because not all of them include sort of disc rotors and bottom brackets, so there's maybe another little cost there. And then we sort of gave ourselves a budget of about 200 quid for finishing kit. You know, that's your handlebar, your stem, your seat post, your saddle. I think that's absolutely reasonable. You can definitely pick up all those parts for about that sort of money fairly easily. and then tyres and tubes for about 100 quid, which again I think is pretty reasonable actually. It gives you some options at 100 quid. So yeah, £1,947, so just about doable. But it did sort of bring up the Forme Calva at 599 for 100 quid more. You get this aluminium bike with the full carbon fork, carbon steer and everything, and it is really lovely actually. The welds are beautiful on it. The inside looks really nice. I'm really impressed. For £100 more, I think that you get more than 100 quid's worth of bike there. It's definitely worth a look. And then the wheels, we've put on here the ZIPP 303S as a slight sort of upgrade alternative. I know that I've slated them on this channel, but they give you the width that you want. You get that extra versatility in the tyres that you might want to run. And right now they're on sale at so cheap. It's like I said in those other videos, you could buy several sets of bearings before you get close to the next step up, if you like. So it is kind of tempting. And then on our alternative 2, if you like, was, you know, the benchmark aluminium bike at the moment is the Cannondale CAD 13. It's probably a little bit on the racy side, so more geared towards sort of criteriums, and race bike hasn't quite got the tyre clearance of that versatility we want, but it's the benchmark, if you like, just to give you an idea of where these prices are. And then our fast forward Ryot, so that's your investment piece at 1,350 quid. And then I'll put on there the SRAM Rival Access, because I talked to, if I was to choose a group set, I'd be very tempted at, you know, 105 at like 900, just to creep that up a little bit. It is still a big jump, but it's worth putting on there, I think, to sort of see the value of that 105 in the Tiagra group set as compared to where things are. So yeah, that's how it all ended up, and I think I think we would quite happily ride that around. It'd be fairly heavy, but it'd probably perform how we want. But the next part of that question was, just forget about the price for a second. Let's just put something together. And this is where we ended up with our choice of components. And again, that Forme Calva, the Ryot 44s, the 105 group set of Pirelli P0s. And I know that they're overpriced. It's like a little weird addiction that I have. Whenever I think, oh, they're too expensive, I really struggle to know what else to get. Like the Continental 5000s always let me down. The Schwalbe Pro 1s, oh my God, they're still such a pain to fit tubeless. And the sidewalls on them just seem to get eaten. Your mileage may vary, but I do still keep coming back to those Pirellis, and actually they're on sale, so it all tells us that you guys are voting with your cash that they're too expensive, and they're on sale everywhere now. And the ProLogo Dimension saddle, which is an expensive saddle. It's around 120 quid, but again, it's one of those, that's your contact piece. So putting all that together, again, with finishing kit and everything else, came to more like 2,900. I put an asterisk there because sales and choices, etc. So yeah, that's probably as a slightly snobbish cyclist, probably where I'd actually want to be. And then what could we get for that £2,000? If we just went, okay, no, £2,000, let's go out on the internet, let's see what we can find. And there's actually quite a bit of stuff out there, and there's quite a lot of stuff in the sales. Here's just one that just caught my eye, the Orbea Avant. The RRP is, you know, just under that £2,000. And this is fairly typical of what you would get for that money, and that is that an aluminium frame, a carbon fork, a 105 group set with hydraulic discs, but you would sacrifice massively on the wheels, and the wheels really let that bike down. They really do. And then if you took that £2,900 that I got and applied that, this is probably what you'd be forced into, is a Cannondale Super 6 Evo, 105, hydraulic, etc. Carbon frame, but again, poor quality wheels. And there's that question, would you rather have this Cannondale Super 6 Evo, or would you rather have the Forme Calva with those nice wheels and tyres and all that sort of thing? Cool, well that was quite a good thought experiment of the morning. I hope you guys sort of enjoyed that. And again, as always, just get into the comments, get stuck in. There's no right or wrong answer here. This is the beauty of cycling, is that like the choice is quite literally endless. And for me, a lot of the part of the cycling is like trying things out and the engineering side and trying to build the bike that I enjoy riding. Right, okay, let's go do some work.